Week, as usual, joined I'm Gavin, as usual, joined by my good friend James here. River Falls is facing off against Alaska Fairbanks this week, and we should have a great game for us.
Yeah, Battle of the North. We thought that it was cold up here in Wisconsin, but oh boy, those Alaskans are going to be freezing their computer keys off. Meanwhile, while we were just talking and while we were getting everything prepped, the team has already drafted. We've already got picks and bans right now, so we can just jump right straight into it.
We get a good delay. We get a good delay, and we get to pick apart the draft as we usually like to do. So, which team do we have on the blue side today? We've got River Falls picking blue side today for game one, and we've got Alaska Fairbanks on the red side. And let's just go right to the top lane. Darius versus Aurora. What do you think?
So this is the thing. Arrow Hunter, we've seen him with a lot of bruiser characters. We've seen him with a lot of Darius, Alawi, characters like that, a lot of lane bullies. Now, Aurora, she can be picked in the top lane. Very, very good top laner. But the kicker is it's a ranged top laner that can be tricky to play into as Darius. But if Darius can get a lead, if this Udyr can hit some fat ganks, and we'll get to the Udyr in a second, if he can start getting a lead for the Darius where the power spikes are needed, let's say level 5, level 6, where Darius is going to be typically stronger against Aurora, I think that he can steal the game, and it's going to be very, very difficult for Arrow Hunter. He might actually have to pull out a lane rotate, which River Falls is not known for doing. So it's going to be an uncomfortable matchup. However, Arrow Hunter has been scrimming on this character, practicing on this character. We know that he's very comfortable on these flex picks, and with new game mechanics, plays a lot of ARAM, as I know him. So I think the Aurora pick is a very comforting pick to see as new and experimental and something that maybe Alaska isn't going to be ready for. But if the Darius can get a small lead on those power spikes, it could be devastating for River Falls.
I'm super expecting Arrow Hunter to be as aggressive as usual, and I'm going to likely see Darius hit 15 CS while an Arrow Hunter hits 30. That's kind of what I'm expecting to see, and he's got the slowness and the lane control that Aurora can provide. I think is going to go really good with his play style. I think he's just going to lane bully like no other, and I think Darius is going to have to watch his step. Definitely, I think we might see an Udyr early, and we go right over to our jungle matchup of Udyr versus Skarner. Really can go either way. We got kind of class matches, as Udyr might be more of a brawler, where Skarner might be more of a defensive brawler.
Yeah, now Skarner you can play in a lot of different ways, right? Now Skarner is more of a tank jungler. Udyr you can kind of build more or less tank or aggression. You can kind of be a flex pick there. Udyr actually recently got buffed. His R is a buff, and that was hoping to help his clear out a little bit. So maybe Udyr can clear a little faster, get these ganks online a little faster as well. But in terms of the Skarner, I don't know if we're going to be seeing him a lot in the early game as much as Udyr. I have to agree with that. Is that Fridgley probably needs a little bit more time to get online. The ganks are great for Skarner, don't get me wrong. You can go through walls with the E. You can get some great pulls with the R as long as he hits level 6 in time. But the thing with Skarner is he's hyper opportunistic. You miss your combo or some misplay happens where your laner is already dead by the time you're ganking, things might go wrong and it's unrecoverable. So it's all going to come down to ganks rather than the farms and rotations. Udyr is probably going to have a little bit more of an early gank pressure, whereas Skarner, probably going to be built towards those late ganks and late, initiating the team fights, things like that. So that's the matchup in my eyes. It could honestly go either way. It just comes down to how the laners play around their jungle.
Right, and we've got a Galio Lux matchup on the mid lane. Galio, I think, with the natural magic resist and the ability to build the magic resist item, he should be fine. He should be able to hold his own. The big guy that he is, Pizza Boy on the mid lane. But our bot lane, I think, is a real toss-up because we've got a Jinx and a Lulu, a good amount of range, a good amount of lane control and CC versus an Alistar and Varus, which is going to be a lot more in your face, and Varus is going to be peppering in from the back, and he's got the grievous wounds, so shielding may not be as effective, but Eerie and Enchanting looking to get poked out a little bit here and maybe trade a little bit and put the Alistar in his place. It's the big honking cow that he is. He's going to have to back, and they're going to drive him off some CS pretty early here.
This is the bot lane from River Falls MO. This is their aggressive take. As we know, these players that have been scrimming, they like to play enchanters, they like to play hyper-aggressive comps, and this is something that they've been scrimming recently. So it's not uncommon to see them playing especially aggressive on level 1, knowing where the level 2 split's going to be. And where I want to actually focus on right now is more of the mid lane. I know that you're a huge fan of this character named Lux. You know, very lesser known champ, definitely not one of the flagships.
What you doing up there?
But a very interesting point you're making right now that I have failed to miss is that Galio is actually up against the Darius, and it's going to be a lane swap coming in from Alaska. Pizza Boy is going to have to face off against Fred, and Cataronia is going to be facing off against Arrow Hunter. A very interesting matchup here. This is something that we didn't even discuss at all, and it's getting rough. However,
oh, the electrocute comes off once again. Arrow Hunter almost getting Cataronia off, and they picked out. You're gonna pay for that. This is gonna be a hey, your guys, your top lane guys not on top lane. Your mid lane guy, well, they're mine now.
However surprising that this lane swap is, exactly what you said was going to happen is happening right now. Arrow Hunter is still playing just as aggressive as we know him for, and he's still bringing the heat to the top lane, whether it's a ranged matchup or a melee matchup.
We get a big taunt in from Galio here, as Fred looks to be controlling the lane a little bit, able to push up a little bit, but that's going to be great. A great opportunistic point for Fridley to come in with the Skarner. And maybe drive him into the turret, drive him into the wall, and Pizza Boy with the taunt, able to keep Darius in his field. And
Ooh.
Fred with an interesting flash, but he does catch Pizza Boy out, and that'll be first blood for Alaska.
The bleed from Darius is just too much for Pizza Boy to handle, and as tanky as Galio is, he is felled by that giant bloodied axe. First kill going over to Alaska rather than River Falls, and honestly, a little bit of a misplay from Pizza Boy. We know that he's been trying to practice his CS, doing better at that, trying to stay
an interesting
even in
battle
lane.
coming down on the bot lane per chance. We got an Udyr on the back line. In Tri-Bush here, Fridgley sees him, and they're all going to focus back on the Udyr. Maybe we can catch the Udyr before, but Alistar comes in the knock-up, and the Glacial Augment comes out slowing everybody. Varus comes in with some big damage, and Erie's in the back line with an Ignite on him, and he falls to the Udyr. Enchanting will pick up the hit on the Udyr, though, and they do chase out the Alistar, and then they will chase out and finish the Varus. What an interesting turnout.
A very weird sequence of events right there. You know, a miscalculation for the mid laner on Pizza Boy by missing some CS, or rather overcompensating for the CS and dying from the Darius, but it allows him to go back to base first, get a few items, and get that movement speed from the tier 1 boots to rotate down. Alaska was not ready for that. It was a counter gank from both Fridgley and Pizza Boy.
Ready to go in.
And here come the ganks again, but sadly Fred
Darius
is
is going
a little
for
too
it.
OP right now, but he might have bitten off a little bit more than he can chew, and that is a failed tower dive.
Unfortunately, Fridgley does fall to the bleed, but does secure a great kill for Pizza Boy, and Darius is going to be kept in his place. He's at 2-1. Could still go either way. Galio's sitting at a nice, solid 2-1-2, so he's got a lot going for him right now. And Alistar kind of getting caught out here in a little weird spot. Erie is really laying into him, and Enchanting is just peppering him with a double buff that Enchanting has on their back.
Exactly. Killing that jungler is going to give him both of the buffs, and he's going to be able to ride that out to do a lot of tick damage on his trap, but Scrungo is dishing a lot of damage back. Erie brought down to half. Might have to pop a recall here. Now Pizza Boy taking a little bit of a fight in the jungle, trying to find out 100 ping warrior, just getting some eyes on him. And yeah, an unfortunate misplay from both teams and a great play from both teams on each side. Just an absolute masterclass of a banger that we're seeing right here. Arrow Hunter does have a ward. The scanner is going to take it out, but he understands where Warrior is. Not going to overcommit, as aggressive as Arrow Hunter is. And yeah, sadly, it was unfortunate that Ridley fell in the mid lane, and Darius was able to pick up a phage from that. But it's better than the Darius getting snowballed and, you know, hopefully not going 3-0 or anything like that. So I think it's better for a 2-1 stat line. I think Fridgley is fine taking that death with the 4 assists, and he was able to get a Giant's belt anyway. So, you know, overall, not great for River Falls, but not the worst thing that could have happened. Now we're seeing a lot of level 6s come online. I'm excited for the next team fight. Void Grubs do go in the way of Alaska. Let's see how River Falls can compensate.
The mid lane matchup staying on top lane, despite what any of us would have thought at the beginning of this matchup. The Lux seeming to hold their own against Arrow Hunter here, looking to poke out this Lux here. Nice electrocute to start off, and he's going to keep that up, and he's going to say, I got my electrocute, back off for a little bit, you know, I'll catch you on the next one. And you know, Arrow Hunter is just about to his ultimate here. Lux with the ultimate and the stun lock, able to really lay into Arrow Hunter here. Arrow Hunter not opting for a null magic mantle quite yet, building into, you know, really a throw up. It could be kind of turn out to be whatever he wants to. Frugely and Pizza Boy here spotted by the ward on the side of Alaska, so they kind of know where the mid laner and the jungler are. And that's going to give Udyr a little bit of, ooh, I'm going to see what I can do here. Maybe we, you know, the bot lane is looking a little pushed up. Maybe we'll see something come out. But really looking to back down, and he's going to focus on this Drake as Udyr is taking his wolves, and looks like he's going to rotate up to his red side. So kind of uncontested Drake here for River Falls. Be a great first take in a response to those Void Grubs. And Trappist Scrungo are going to try and see here. 100 ping Warrior coming in from the top. They're going to try and have to focus on this Drake, and Frugely will secure it. Beautifully done, wonderfully done, and now they'll take the fight. It's a 3v3. The Alistar, the support, will fall first. Eerie is backing up, and he'll be fine. 100 ping Warrior is falling as well, and Scrungo, I believe the flash over the wall will save him as he runs away. And a great turn of events, once again, by the wonderful, wonderful bot laners of River Falls.
Yeah, late commitment from Alaska right
Very
there.
late.
Very, very late. They understood that the Drake was being taken. They really wanted to contest it, but you can't do that when Smite is up on the enemy jungler and they have turn pressure. When you have ultimates on Enchanting and you have ultimates on Frugely, which Frugely didn't even need to pop and Enchanting didn't need to pop, but the point is the kill threat is there. The other issue that they had was Eerie is a ranged character, an Enchanter. He can stay away and have Frugely tank, whereas Trap, being a tank Alistar at level 4, you're not really a tank Alistar at that point. You're just a headbutting Alistar. And headbutting is not what he did enough in that fight. He just walked into the enemy team and got full shot. Arrow Hunter dodging the ultimate from the Caitlyn. Cataronia missing the ult while the sidestep comes through.
Mana's depleting here. Cataronia is going to have to look for a back. 100 ping Warrior is looking for much. Arrow Hunter kind of caught out with a little bit of a low health bar here, but ultimately not enough mana, I think, by Cataronia, so I don't think 100 ping Warrior is going to be able to really pull anything out of his pockets here. But
he does have Pixel Bush warded.
Might catch Pizza Boy here as Fred comes down. Frugely got to heal up really quick, and maybe they're going to set up. Oh, they're going to go for the Lux right away, possibly. Arrow Hunter pops the ult, doesn't quite hit. And they're going to look for support on Pizza Boy here. Pizza Boy and Arrow Hunter flash over the wall. And Arrow Hunter will get caught out by the Udyr stun and lock. And this Alistar is hitting him with his CCs. He says, you know what, my bot laners are... He's just going to farm, get some solo gold, get some solo CS, solo level. And we're going to go up and we're going to take out Arrow Hunter and Frugely and Pizza Boy in the process. Maybe not Frugely, but Pizza Hunter will also fall. And I think they might look for these top lane and mid lane ganks, because especially Eerie on this Lulu with the polymorphs is such a powerful CC ability to have the polymorph. It just completely renders you useless for 1 second, 2 seconds, and you just kind of get caught out. You can't use any of your CC abilities. You can't heal your teammates. You kind of just sit there like a little squirrel that you are.
Yeah, we're having a bit of scrap here in the bot lane. Eerie and Enchanting doing a lot of damage to Trap, and this is exactly what we're talking about. The flash does have to be burned down to 1/4 of the health. Scrungo brought down to about half. Eerie is rooted, but he's going to be able to get away while he takes this ward out, knowing the Frugely's in the vicinity, taking out the River Grub. Smites that, and now there's no vision on the bottom lane.
Level 5 Alistar.
Trap gets taken out into the turret, stunned. Enchanting takes a tower shot, but the suppression
Frugely with a beautiful
through,
suppression.
Through from Frugely. Scrungo gets absolutely annihilated. Lulu does fall from the Varus due to some tower shots, but you'll take that as the first turret is almost sure to go in the way of River Falls.
Even game so far. We've seen the first turret fall on the side of River Falls bot lane here, and while they might have one turret up, they might have one Drake up, Alaska, pardon me, just took their 6th grub, so they are going to be looking for this Baron Pit and this Herald coming up, whenever that comes up, 15 minutes, I believe. And they're going to be looking for that Rift Herald for sure. So River Falls is either going to have to prioritize this Drake, or they're going to have to prioritize this Rift Herald.
We also need to keep our eyes on the mid lane.
Still's looking to get him scrap going, but he's still level 5. He doesn't quite have that defense that he needs, in my opinion, to take out these fights, especially with Eerie so close by with that polymorph. He's going to need something that can cancel out some CC and give himself that extra tank ability that he is supposed to have at this point.
This is something that I said we don't see a lot from River Falls, but I'm glad we're seeing it right now before we get into the skirmish in mid lane. Ping Warrior just trying to defend these plates right now, trying to not let any more gold go over to Enchanting and Eerie, but another plate is collected regardless. Trap taking a bunch of needless damage as he comes out from the bottom river. And that is a good little push from the mid lane, but this is exactly what I was talking about. River Falls is not known for these lane swaps. But look at what we're seeing right now. Enchanting and Eerie taking the mid lane in the mid game right before Second Drake is up. TP is coming through, but now it's just going to be the Varius against the Galio, and I think Galio could probably bully this guy.
It looks like they're just trying to gold feed Enchanting here. Jinx is sitting at a nice, comfortable 6-0. Got a hefty bounty on her head as she's sitting here in the mid lane. Can be taxed from all sides here, being really aggressive, trying to go for these plates, trying to get solo plates if possible. But Erie's here to help, and you know they're just trying to push back. It looks like Cataronia has opted to come back to mid lane. As Darius, here we go. Here's a rotate here. Udyr is going around the right side. Darius is coming from the top, and Enchanting and Eerie are kind of just here. A beautiful teleport coming in from Arrow Hunter as Frigily is also here, and we've got a team fight on our hands.
Yeah, Traps hits Sadborn, but the Galio comes through to give his teammate the shield. Enchanting does fall at the end. Fred goes with a huge R, getting all that health up with his W. Frigily trying to pull back to the tower. Arrow Hunter going down to the bottom jungle, and the game
We've got a technical pause.
I wonder what the technical pause could have been for. Maybe it was something in the team fight. Somebody couldn't hit a button. Somebody disconnected. We'll see. But what a team fight right now, and Alaska has the upper hand. This could have went either way, but
it could have.
They were able to jump onto Enchanting just in time, and all the damage came through. And unfortunately, the target prioritization for River Falls was on the Darius, which has, as I don't need to tell you, an insane amount of healing.
Very much so. And this is exactly what we were talking about, alluding to, maybe not even a minute prior, as Eerie and Enchanting were caught out.
We're already back into it. Arrow Hunter might fall here. Scrungo trying to hunt him down. Arrow Hunter with a leap behind.
Ooh, the CC.
Root almost goes and lands.
They
might just start the Drake up
He's buying
right
some
now.
time. He's got to get out of here.
He is buying time, but Trap lands the knock-up, and now Ping Warrior is on top of him. Gets that kill for sure.
Ping Warrior has hit the lag switch.
Although the lag switch has been hit, I'm sure the other thing that was hit was the respawn button on Arrow Hunter, as he is sent back to the fountain, looking at a gray screen for a while. Ping Warrior on a killing spree right now, and second Drake goes to Alaska.
Frigili's ready to look at this rock. We may not be out of this yet.
Soon.
Oh, it'll be a secured Drake hit on the smite here by Hunter Ping Warrior.
Yeah. Mega Death Rocket comes through, but sadly too little too late, just lands under the shield of Ping Warrior, and he walks away scot-free with a Cloud Drake in hand.
And we've got Chemtech Soul on our hands today. We've got some beautiful fungus growing in the jungle. We've got a lot of vision that can be happening, and we've got a lot of healing and shielding coming in from these honey fruits that'll be everywhere. So.
Well, I suppose beautiful is a subjective term, but
I like the green. It's so lush.
It is very great. It's very yeah. The turf here is great. I'd go golfing on this map.
Don't breathe in too much.
You know, I think this is how The Last of Us started. I'm pretty sure. Game slowing down a little bit as each team tries to collect themselves. Alaska, you know, feeling a little better from that team fight, especially after securing the Drake. And River Falls worse for wear. The lanes have been swapped up to the point where almost everybody is back in their corresponding lane, except for the River Falls bot lane, but we are seeing a lot more focus on the top lane, which is why Fred had to rotate. A blue buff steal might come through right here, a huge buff raid. 3 members are committed from the University of Alaska into this side of the jungle, but Enchanting is here to back up his boy. Frigily goes in for a wall grab. It doesn't land on anybody, but he's still here with a huge airborne pull from Eerie. Enchanting doing as much damage as he can onto the backline, but then he gets rooted by Cataronia.
Oh, and a huge rocket comes
Lux
in.
Ult lands onto him, but it's not going to matter because it only brings him down to half HP. Ping Warrior has to flash over the wall from the Herald Pit. Now they turn their attention over to Cataronia. Cataronia has to walk out, and they give up on that chase. They have secured enough of the kills to almost come out victorious onto this team fight. I thought Eerie was going to fall there for a second, but the prize has been claimed. The prize being the head of Fred the Darius and the Rift Herald to boot.
Alaska will walk out of this with an Alistar dead and a Darius dead, and Udyr was just a little bit too worse for wear to try and fight for this Rift Herald, so River Falls will secure this Rift Herald, which is absolutely great for them. They lost that Drake. They've got 6 Void Grubs on the opposite side, so they don't want to let Scully run around with full Rift Herald potential here. So they'll take that, and I believe, let's see, Frigily's got this up in his pocket, so we'll see where he plops this down. Ping Warrior and Trap looking to clear their red side here on the side of River Falls. Look to apply some pressure in the forest here.
Yeah, but great denial from River Falls, like you stated. Taking away that Rift Herald from a team that has 6 Grubs is detrimental to their strategy. Man, don't get me wrong, the Grubs are still going to affect the basic attacks that they can inflict onto the towers, but at least they won't potentially take 2 with a Rift Herald with all those Gribbies spawning. So Good denial on the side of River Falls. They're actually going to spawn it right here in the mid lane. Cataroni just trying to wave clear, but it's not going to matter because Frigidly can pretty much tank forever, as well as the Rift Herald for the rest of this tower. And mid-tier 1 falls. Red turret destroyed by the Jinx player. Fred pushing off Arrow Hunter. Arrow Hunter trying to get away, but he gets pulled out of his dash into Fred. And now he gets the Q auto attack cancel to one-shot. Arrow Hunter on the top. The mid lane is now spurring with action. Ping Warrior trying to go onto the back line, but Erie's having none of it. Enchanting falling down and getting that shield from the Galio. The Galio ult has been popped, and now Enchanting is playing in as hyper-aggressive as
Warrior
possible.
running for his life.
And he gets pushed into the tower. A headbutt from Trap does an incredible amount of damage and saves his jungler from the enemy ADC. Ping Warrior getting away with almost no health, but it might come at the detriment of Trap. Trap is still going as far as he can into the enemy base, and he might not be caught here. Fred, meanwhile, collecting into the top lane. Might be able to get a tier 2 right here. Maybe he does, maybe he doesn't. But meanwhile, in the mid lane, a huge fight brews, but 2 needful kills get away from the clutches of River Falls.
It was a really good fight from both sides. Obviously, we'd like to see Board being the home team, but
I mean, these jerseys
absolutely
don't pay for
beautiful.
themselves.
Enchanting with that extra range.
A
and,
flash
it's
from
just
Fred
be too
takes
much.
out Enchanting, and the bleed damage is enough to execute him. A little bit of an overstep from the Jinx player. The rest of his team was there to support him, but I think he just got antsy. Didn't understand that the flash was still up for the Darius.
So, sounds like laning phase is a little bit over. We're at 17.5 minutes here, and it's really going either way. We've got 24 kills, 2 Drakes, 6 Void Grubs have been taken. All 6 Void Grubs have been taken. We've got a Rift Herald in the pockets, and we've got Drake coming up in less than a minute here. We've got a Rift Herald, maybe another Rift Herald fight before the Baron comes up. And we've got our top lanes back. Our top lanes are matching, and Arrow Hunter is really needed some MR here against this Lux.
And this is interesting, too, because what we're used to top laners doing is going for the back line and trying diving on. Oh, wow, Frigidly actually might get caught here. There's no ward in this bush behind Drake, but now Frigidly's brought down to half health.
He's got 3! He's got 3 of
comes
them!
through, gives him a shield, and now Erie is
A
there to
huge
back up
taunt.
his boy. I don't know if it's going to be enough as Frigidly falls and the heal goes on to Fred, but is it going to be enough to get a 1-for-1? Yes, it is. It's going to be a 1-for-2 as the Darius and the Udyr falls make that 3 with the Alistar. Double kill for the Jinx player. Enchanting, trying to hunt down the last remaining member into the mid lane, but it's not going to matter because the Blast Cone takes him away, and now the Drake is secured. A fumble from Alaska, not understanding that Frigidly is the tankiest Scorpion alive. It's hard to break through that exoskeleton with a Heartsteel on 145 stacks.
Frigidly might have been the first death there, but he was probably, you know what, we'll break this down. Frigidly got caught out. He got caught out. He takes 3 out of the 4 people in his ultimate, and Pizza Boy comes up right behind him with a big slam down, and he taunts all of them in that area. Frigidly's trying to get out. He just barely gets caught, and then Enchanting being able to focus on the Udyr as he's running away. Top prioritization here because Udyr falls. They don't have a smite for the Drake Pit if they end up taking that fight, which River Falls completely uncontested after that bloodbath. But the Udyr falls, and I kind of just lost it after that. It sounds like the Alistar fell down, and the Darius was chasing away. Varus got away unscathed, and well, I don't think the Varus was really in that fight. He saw everybody got pulled, and he kind of just backed up a little bit, went south of the Drake Pit, and didn't come back, didn't converge with his team for the rest of that fight.
Skrungle knew the fight was lost, so he jumped ship, and honestly, that was as well played as you could ask for from every member of River Falls. Enchanting, don't forget the splash damage on the Jinx with all of those clumped players. Absolutely devastating. And great target prioritization, like you said. Oh, Arrow Hunter might get caught out right here. Gets
Right
pulled over the wall. He is able to leap right back, though, with his own W. And now Fred is a little worse for wear as Arrow Hunter does get those honeydews.
Arrow Hunter opting for, I don't know exactly what that item is called, but he's opting for some burn on his ultimate here.
Malignance.
Malignance. So we're getting some burn on the floor after he pops his ultimate. So definitely pretty strong being able to secure an area. So much like Vigar cages and pops his W, that's going to be where the burn is going to be hitting, wherever they're going to be stuck in it. Pizza Boy going under turret with a double taunt. And Enchanting here with a scout pistol, and they're just going to lay under him. And Pizza Boy's just kind of here. Cataronia will almost get caught out in the back, but they'll just leave. They'll get out of this unscathed. Udyr is behind them. They have no idea. It's a 4v4. They're caught in the middle. River Falls is going to have to figure out how to go.
Ooh, Arrow Hunter's on the way.
Alaska maybe not prioritizing a target at the beginning here. Trap going in for a CC. Frigidly is getting hit here, and they'll have 1. They'll have 2. Darius is getting hit out, and the Trap will just fall. That was I can't believe they stayed fighting that.
Oof.
Alaska on
double
an
kill for
interesting kind of pincer mechanic, except they kind of pincered from the beginning, and then Udyr wasn't seen, so he couldn't hit him from the behind, so he kind of went around this way, and they ended up forming a heart, maybe showing that they're showing their love for the Midwest states. We love you too, Alaska.
Well, thanks for that free Baron, Alaska. That's honestly what we needed right here. And
Udyr's around.
River Falls is able to
Arrow
secure
Hunter
it.
sees him. He's going to bug him.
Guaranteed Arrow Hunter is going to be able to zone. A stun might come through from Ping Warrior, maybe even a kill onto him, but the shield comes through from Eerie, helping out his boy Cataroni, trying to steal with the ultimate, but it doesn't matter when Spridgley has the smite up. And now they might actually go for a little bit of a fight right now, channeling the Hex Flash. Trap is in there as well. Ultimate is not up for the Alistar, so all he can do is headbutt. No flash either, and that's what he's doing. He's just by himself, and nobody's turning onto him. They understand that Arrow Hunter is going to be able to deal with Ping Warrior. Cataroni is going to be the only threat onto this top lane. Pete's boy might get taken out. I think that was Enchanting that just recalled in the bush while his boy dies. And honestly, you know what? I can't blame him for it. If Pizza Boy falls here, it's not going to be a huge deal. Enchanting is still going to have the Baron buff, and I believe Eerie is as well. And that's still a win for River Falls. No matter how many people died in that exchange, they were still able to get out with at least one.
We've got two Baron buffs
buffs.
We've got two left. Enchanting and Eerie are going to have to watch their positioning here as Scrungo and Ping Warrior are taking down the mid turret. They're pushing. Alaska's not out of this, and they're definitely not playing like they're losing.
Trap with a huge headbutt, getting the knockup, but it doesn't matter because Enchanting is just doing too much damage.
Enchanting's going for it. Enchanting with a
quadra kill for the Jinx player on River Falls, and a pentakill as he takes out the Udyr. A masterclass Jinx from Enchanting right now. Holy Hannah.
We almost missed it.
I couldn't even see what was happening. He flashed into the enemy team, got a triple kill off of the AoE damage from the bazooka, and then turned around on the Udyr player that took out his top laner. Are you kidding me right now?
You're one of the two people left on your team with Baron buff, and you're getting attacked from 3 different sides, and you're going to flash into them? And by the time I saw what was going on, 3 people had already died. Props to Enchanting here. Enchanting is putting Alaska in their place, and they're just collecting some buffs. We're not going to push with this Baron buff quite yet, it looks like.
I got to say, hats off to Eerie, too, keeping his boy alive with every amount of spell casting possible. That's why they call him an Enchanter, because he was buffing the absolute living crap out of Enchanting.
Opting for the Ardent Sensor second item is going to be absolutely beautiful for this Jinx, because they're going to absolutely take as much attack speed as they can.
And this is something we already complimented Enchanting about from the last kill, but River Falls as a whole, great team. I'm really glad to see, as we've casted their games a lot, their work on target prioritization and what fights they know they can take.
They've been playing a lot better together over the course of these last few weeks.
They've always been playing very, very well, but these are the very specific micro things that we wanted to see out of them, and they have been phenomenal. There have been a few mistakes here and there. Obviously, you can nitpick and be biased, as Video Game Donkey once said, but it doesn't matter when you can pull off plays like that and understand that we can win this fight with 2 people. I know that we can. I do enough damage. I can read this fight. We got to take that chance.
Not even close. Darius is kind of just on his own over in River Falls blue side here, as we've got 3 people versus 4 on the bot side, and they're just kind of pushing. They're pestering that turret, and Alistar's gonna feel it in the morning. He's down 0-7 right now, but he's doing his best. He's got the Zeke's Convergence not quite out. He's looking for a Frozen Heart, possibly to focus up on Enchanting and slow that attack speed down, which the Ardent Sensor kind of cancels it out, man.
You want to know what I'm focusing on? I wonder if he got those movement speed boots to run away or to actually engage. It's hard to tell right now with the stat line, but you know, sometimes it's hard to play.
Ooh, Arrow Hunter is locking in on this Darius.
This is actually a first right now. The Darius taking more damage than anybody that he's been 1v1ing, and he misses the heal. His W is going to be down for at least another 8 seconds. And Arrow Hunter's not going to capitalize. He's going to play it slow. This is something that we actually don't see a lot from Arrow Hunter. But to be fair, the ghost was blown from Fred, so he was able to get away. However, good win in the top side. Good coverage from River Falls, and I honestly like this 4-1 split right now.
This is beautiful. Global Blue going out on the side of River Falls, which is exactly what Enchanting needed. I was just going to mention Enchanting falling really low on this mana, which, you know, they're an auto attacker, they're an ADC, but, you know, those traps will come in handy. That rocket will come in handy for sure, especially being the mana gobbler that thing is on her shoulder. So we're falling back, maybe prioritizing some backs here as Pizza Boy's going to scout out, and Trap is going to be seen. Oh, no, if he gets caught out here, the flash will come out. Frigidly says, come here, big boy. And, Trap is going to do his best that he can. And who's got Heartsteel? Frigidly's got 200 extra max HP from Heartsteel here, and he's ready to just keep on getting bigger.
Yeah, well, the flash was burned from Trap. The ultimate was burned from Frigidly. That still will be up in, I don't know, give or take, probably about 30 seconds, something like that. It's a very low cooldown, it seems like. And honestly, River Falls looking very, very dominant, but Alaska more or less looking lost. The only person who seems to want to split push or at least do anything that isn't just turtle up behind the towers is the Darius. And I wonder if this is an intentional strategy or if Darius is the only one that actually wants to aggress and do this split push, because honestly, like I said, they're just looking really lost right now on the side of Alaska, not really sure where they're playing on the map. Cataroni just used an ult on nothing. There was no wave there, no people, no nothing. So now there's not going to be a Luxalt for this
fight here. Arrow
that
Hunter
we're
wants
about
it.
to get into right now. Arrow Hunter burns the flash of the enemy jungler. Pizza Boy also extends the flash just to make sure that his team is brought up to full HP and shields. And now there's no flash on the Udyr. You're not going to be able to go in for those flash stuns.
We're
and now
back
they
to
got
a
their eyes on
handshake.
tier 1 tower into top. Pizza Boy with a great taunt onto Cataroni. Cataroni has to burn the flash over the wall onto the Krug pit, but it doesn't matter.
Pizza Boy wants some more.
On the hunt, he smells blood in the water. Gets rooted from Cataronia, but takes the blast cone just to scare him a little bit more. And that Luxalt is up already and actually hits a wave this time, but not before. River Falls and all of their members are
Hunter Pink Warrior almost falls with a Jinx rocket.
Oh, I was about to eat my words right there. And it seems like they want to close this game out on the top side. They took all the turrets in every other lane. Why not take them on the top as well?
Absolutely. Darius here securing a Sterax gauge for himself, which is going to be very interesting for anybody that solo pushes him while he's trying to solo push them.
It might be another bush camp strat where they try to kill him and he ends up just getting infinite shields. That could happen as well.
It could. They're still trying to apply this split pressure as Varus is pushing down the bot side, and we're having another fight as Baron has been taken on the side of River Falls, and Chanting is just going to dust off his hands with the remains of the cow.
Arrow Hunter traps Trap for his namesake after they burn the Baron down immediately. And now with 5 Baron buffs on the board, Arrow Hunter might pop a back right here and go for a split push. No, actually defending the bottom lane. Great macro right now and being able to read the map, sending 4 members down mid instead. And again, no defense except for the Luxalt from Cataronia every single time. But when you have Baron buff and this many tanky members, Enchanting is just going in. He does not care anymore. He doesn't need any tanks on his side. He's got the movement speed from Jinx.
Oh my God! What is that?
Takes out Cataroni with the movement
Is
speed.
that
And now
4
he's got
autos?
even more movement speed from the Jinx passive because every time he gets a kill, he gets a little bit of movement speed. And now he's going to be zipping and darting around. Oh my gosh, a double knockup
They're
comes
looking
through
to end it
Frigidly with
here.
a triple suppression and 3 impales.
Varus isn't
Take
getting
down
caught
the
out. He can't
hearts
run fast
of the
enough.
University of Alaska straight through like a crucifix through a vampire's heart. He impales the hopes and dreams of all Alaska fans. And game number 1 goes to River Falls.
More final triple kill for Enchanting, ending the game at a solid 22-2.
Oh my
goodness.
Good Lord.
Wow.
That IE was putting in work, I'm going to
know,
tell you what.
Udyr may have taken 6 Void Grubs, but right after that, River Falls not only took 1 Herald, they took the Baron and the second Baron. And they didn't really do much with the first Baron, but that second Baron was endgame. They took that team fight in Fountain, under turrets in Fountain, and that was just kind of it.
Don't forget about the 2 Drakes as well that they got for free off the backs of these incredible solo plays. I believe the third one was actually off the back of Enchanting's amazing 2v5 pentakill with the help of Eerie. And then the second Drake, I believe it was off of the Frigidly camp. They tried to huddle around his red buff into that bush behind the Drake pit and ended up just not understanding that he had 145 stacks on Sunfire. He's not going to, or Heartsteel rather. And he has the shields from Eerie coming to back him up. They had vision in the top, in the bottom river bush coming from mid. But they didn't understand that Eerie is going to give him that many shields to not only keep him alive for at least a little bit. He did die in the end, but enough to pop the ult and suppress three
of
members. 3 of the most crucial members, might I add. 3 of the main damage dealers at that part of the game. Varus can be considered a damage dealer, but at that point in the game, the ADC is not going to be doing a metric ton of damage, which is why it's probably more luck so that Varus didn't get impaled. It's just the other 3 that were dogpiling.
Right, and then, Pizza Boy does a little swap. He goes, come back, Fridgley. You've done enough. And he goes in and he taunts the rest of everybody there.
You're coming home, soldier. Yeah. Rips his dog tags off. I'll remember your name.
So Fridgley falls behind everybody, but the fight is midway as Pizza Boy is. Everybody just stuck in a trance. And he says, look at me, I'm the big chicken.
Honestly, an incredible game from both teams. You got to love it. I'm a fan of Big League. Obviously, like we said, we're maybe a teeny bit biased with the jerseys we have on, but we're also huge fans of Good League, and that was phenomenal league. And I'm so excited because this is a best of 3. We have at least another game coming, so stay tuned.
This could go either way. Welcome back, folks, Falcons, to River Falls versus Alaska Fairbanks. We're here for Game 2. We got 2 minutes to chat about this draft. Looking pretty similar on the side of River Falls, at least in the terms of top lane and jungle. And then we stole their Lux away from them, and we've got a Caitlyn and a Vex.
Yeah, so the first thing that, I mean, we could go down the line, but the first thing that I actually want to bring up right now is the Veigar into Vex. So we were talking about this earlier. We thought that she didn't really go mid because they lane swapped. They wanted Darius into Galio, which is a very good matchup for the Darius, which is why the lane swap happened. But originally, the mid lane pick was supposed to go mid. It was the Lux. So that's why we're surprised, because I'm sure that this character or this champion is very comfortable in the mid lane against all of Pizza Boy's pools. So I'm very surprised that they allowed the Lux to go through and opted for the Veigar instead. Maybe they just needed a little bit more, I guess, not to say that Lux doesn't do damage, but a little bit more of consistent damage and burst magey.
That's interesting because they have the lane control of the Veigar and obviously the damage of Veigar, especially late game.
Yeah.
They opted for the Brand and support, which is
also heavy damage.
That's quite a bit. So
yeah, it's a lot of AP. And I think
I
think the Jin's also going to do a lot of AD though. Xin Zhao as well here and there. Maybe even Darius, I believe his Q procs for AD, and the bleed, which is just kind of straight damage anyway, physically. But the kicker is that the Vex into the Veigar, it honestly doesn't. I don't think it really favors one or the other.
Yeah,
I think it's just going to be more of a stalemate. The issue that I see is that if Alaska pulls out another lane swap, how is River Falls going to adapt? Because we were talking actually with the coach before this, and it was very interesting to bounce off these ideas because we were wondering how River Falls counteracted the last game and how their thought process actually were. And apparently, instead of an early rotate, they actually chose to do a late rotate and allowed the Darius to fight the Galio and the Aurora to fight the Lux. And that's why Pizza Boy unfortunately got killed, because that matchup is just so good for Darius. So it's just going to be interesting to see if River Falls changes that mindset or if they continue to give Alaska what they want and just play for scaling.
This really could go either way because honestly, the Aurora is obviously also played on the mid lane. So, Aurora versus Veigar hasn't not been seen before. So if the Veigar does choose to go to the top lane, it looks like Darius is already making his way towards the top lane, so we can kind of cancel that out. Veigar opting for the first strike for this room, which definitely going to be playing a lot into that scaling. But what I want to talk about is this Brand picking Comet. I think the Brand Comet is maybe an underrated, well, maybe not underrated exactly, but it's an underplayed rune because you favor the Dark Harvest, which Eerie has favored here. Lux Dark Harvest is we're kind of seeing swaps here because usually it would be the Lux running the Comet or at least the summon Eerie, and then Brand on the Dark Harvest.
I was about to say the area is more common, especially for the support role, is it not?
I think
somebody who plays Lux more than I do.
Right, I like to forget about those guys. But I don't think. I mean, Lux Dark Harvest is to my knowledge hasn't been super prominent, but Eerie knows something we don't. Eerie wants to scale. That's fine with me. They've got some sight on that second push, so they know they are ready. And he's going to get in those little pop shots with the Comet. And then that W is just such a strong ability, but matched with the Lux, we're getting pretty matched results here on both sides.
I don't think that River Falls understands that they have a ward in this bush, which is why they can see them.
They missed it the last time. They missed it the first time. They ran down there as fast as possible to pop that ward in that bush and then run away. They've got both bushes warded up because Eerie likes to spend his time in the bushes here so far, supposedly. I think there's more of an early game, like I'm gonna get in your head kind of thing. But we're really zoomed in here on the bot lane here.
And honestly, it seems like Trap is taking more damage than it's worth. He has to pop that potion immediately. He bought I assume he bought just the recommended starter items to get down here so fast, and he pops that one health pot that it gives you. And now they're a little worse for wear. Eerie also pops the pot, but he's still going to be a little healthier for it. Back and forth, just some common CSing. Yeah. They hit level 2 first.
Eerie is going to be trying to pop more shots on just both of them in general to obviously play into that Dark Harvest stack. And
they deny a little CS as well.
We're kind of seeing the same thing on the side of mid lane with Catriona, Veigar on the first strike. So we'll see a lot of just Q shots popped at the Vex.
Oh my goodness, I need to get my eyes checked. I was saying Cataronia this whole time. I'm going to continue to say Cataronia because that sounds cooler. Change your name to Cataronia, I bet you'll get more views.
It's that whole Alawi versus whatever the other one is.
Iloe? I don't even know.
Oh,
I've always said Alawi.
Always said Alawi.
Yeah, I feel like it's more of a semantic thing where it's those people that say it's technically not aluminum, it's aluminium. You know,
those are
and
British
it's
people.
like, well, it's aluminum for the past 23 years of my life, so we're gonna keep it that way, and it's exactly what we're gonna call the Vygar for now.
It's the dialect change of having a U in the word color.
I mean, I suppose no pronunciation change yet in that word, but we'll see.
You don't say color?
Not yet.
Not yet.
Not yet. Till those biscuit makers come over the sea and take our land, we'll have to see. Just kidding. I love the British Isles. Meanwhile, in the bottom lane, something that is not being loved is the CC from Scrungo.
Hate to see it. It's just that's a play that I'd rather leave, in the thoughts and prayers.
It's not that they lose too much about it. Erie is half health, and Frigely is here for some support, but it is the mental game. Getting locked down by a Jin route, even when they can't capitalize, is always – it just never feels good.
It's the Brand route, and then the Jin is like 200 yards away, and he says, oh, by the way.
Oh, a little bit of a fight right now. He gets suppressed from
Frigely's pulling him out.
The stun comes through as he knocks him into the wall, but 100 Ping Warrior is not being brought down to enough HP to be capitalized upon. Frigely might have to flash out. He flashes the wrong way. 100 Ping Warrior gets the first blood. Pizza Boy is there for some backup, but Cataroni is there to follow up.
God, it's a
and now it's going to be an absolute massacre for River Falls. Not one single kill goes over to them. Vex tries to finish it out by taking out Ping Warrior, but it's not going to be enough. 3 kills for Alaska. Devastating, and a misplay and a miss. This is uncharacteristic of River Falls. They do not go for the same target. Target prioritization was off right there. Erie and Enchanting were both trying to jump on a trap, whereas Frigely, not only trying to peel himself, but trying to do a little bit of damage by staying into the fight, and thus we saw saving his flash until the very end, was going for Warrior. So it just begs the question, was there a call there? Were they calling to go for the Xin Zhao? Were they calling to go for the Brand? I'm unsure what the play was.
Both the Jin and the Xin were focusing on Frigely, and Frigely's just kind of here, taking up everything, and then it looked like Enchanting and Erie were trying to lock down the Brand, which, either way, but we'll move past it. Mistakes happen. River Falls will push them back under their turret. They've already done so. And they've got – it's just kind of a lot of stacking game. We're playing for the late game, I think, on both sides.
Oh, yeah. This is exactly what I said earlier, is that River Falls, I'm wondering if they're just going to play for more of the scaling, which is what we know of them to do, especially when Frigely was actually playing in the bottom lane and Enchanting was in the jungle. They still do the same thing now, but back then they especially played for the scaling comp. So that could be what we're going for here. Caitlyn scales very well. And honestly, Vex, you could argue that Vygar with the passive is going to scale more than the Vex, but Vygar does have a stronger spike from level 1 to, like, I guess we can say, like, maybe level 7, or at least first item. And that's exactly what we saw in the bottom lane. Cataroni showed up and did significantly more than Pizza Boy even hoped to do. Pizza Boy showed up, did a fear, and maybe tickled a little bit of damage on a trap, but didn't do much else, whereas the Vygar came in and cleaned up the rest of the enemy team.
Erie has opted for Mejja's ring here. So Erie is looking real confident and really trying to stack up some AP here. So I think we've really just got a bunch of AP on both sides, on mid lane and the support roles. And then we've got our ADCs, obviously, and then
putting all our chips
we
on
really
red.
are just I'm wondering what kind of builds we're going to see on just everybody, because, like, obviously Frigely's going to opt for the more tank route. Darius probably going to be more bruiser, same thing kind of like he did last time. He built the Triforce, and then the Stride Breaker, and then Sterak's Cage. Xin Zhao can also pretty much just build, I think Xin Zhao wants to build like Lethality. I could be wrong, but I really just, this is an interesting build path for both teams.
Very lot of interesting builds, and like you were talking about with the Lux, when I say bet on black, or rather bet on red, I'm talking about the red of Dark Harvest. He is going all in on these Dark Harvest stacks and damage Lux support. Void Grubs are taken for the side of Alaska, but it will be traded out from the Drake and Ocean Drake for River Falls, and that is pretty good for their team comp health regen, and a team that, they could all in, but they could also kite. Arrow Hunter, especially a character that is known for just playing around the kite. Erie and Enchanting could pull back, especially with the long range from the Caitlyn, very good at kiting in the bottom lane. So Ocean Drake, health regen, we could always work with that, and I think River Falls is going to be happy with that trade. 3 Grubs didn't really make a dent in last game. 6 Grubs didn't make a single difference in last game. So I don't really think that 3 is going to make it here when you have an even higher scaling comp than before.
Yeah, I would love to see a Mountain Soul, or a Mountain Drake, rather, for River Falls, into a Cloud Soul. I think that would just play to the strengths of both sides, and whoever, we've got healing on the side of River Falls. If a Mountain Drake would be popped into that mix, we get a little bit of MR and armor on whoever sides takes that. And then if we get a Cloud Soul, we get speed, we get abilities popping every which way, and this is just going to be a high damage game. Maybe not a high kill game, maybe a high kill game. We got 3 people recalling on River Falls.
Yeah,
right
in the front. That was a very, very, very brave play there. I'm also surprised that Frigely is opting to help the bottom lane, even though that they were doing completely fine, not only removing some XP from his bottom laners, but losing tempo in his own jungle. I'm not sure if you saw it, but Xin Zhao was able to buff raid the entire top side of Frigely's jungle. So he's going to be a full level ahead going into the next team fight.
I think Frigely is he's no stranger to kind of being the underdog in a tussle. He's more on his mechanically inclined skills. I think he's fantastic in a team fight. Doesn't seem to lose his cool. So I think no matter where he's at, he's going to be front and center, and he's going to initiate and just be in that fight. So he's definitely here to take out some focus on his teammates here.
Yeah, lack of tempo in the jungle, but it may pay
just a
off.
free pop
With all of this
the
free damage into the bottom lane.
So close. They almost had it. I think we're popping Dark Harvest here. I think that's what's going on.
Scrungo taking that body hit for his boy. The brand is able to recall. Pizza Boy
Pizza Boy's looking for something. They don't see the brand recalling right on the other side of the push.
No vision on the bottom lane. Pizza Boy not opting to flash over the wall.
Pizza Boy maybe looking for an ult here. There's the ult under turret. It comes in.
Yeah.
The flea comes down. And is that all for Pizza Boy? Enchanting's able to pop one shot into there, so they won't walk out with a complete solo kill by their mid laner, just taking out the ADC for him. They'll walk away with a couple of plates, and that'll be 1 assist on Enchanting.
Vigar does get a plate in mid, and Pizza Boy does lose some tempo, dropping a wave for his competitor. Might be a little bit behind, but honestly, you'll take that.
Ping
Warrior now trying to equalize right now and putting the favors back into his team, but there is a ward there. He has to pop the scanner.
I don't know if you want to take that big guy. Ooh, Arrow Hunter coming in for Catriona. Oh, we've got a fight down here as well as Xin has finally decided to go in. Eerie is here, but Eerie is falling. The heal comes out, and Eerie's beautiful shield will protect him as he runs away, and they'll just smack him on the bum on his way out, why don't you? I don't know what happened on the mid lane. What happened on the mid lane? Looks like a flush.
It seemed like a failed gank. The Vigar must have gotten away. He had to expend the flash. Very important. Vigar flash down, not a mobility champion. A second gank could come out. Arrow Hunter putting in a lot of damage, but taking a lot of damage in return in the top lane.
Electrocute comes out. He's going in. These turret shots are going to come out. Arrow Hunter flinging around to the side, and there he goes. Absolutely beautifully played by Arrow Hunter.
Yeah, phenomenal. Actually, if you understand the mechanics of Aurora, that was incredibly impressive.
You could not have played that any better.
The ultimate did land from Fred, but he did it a little too early. It wasn't within execute range. Oh, but before we start talking about that, there's going to be another play under the bottom lane. Frigely comes in from the bottom jungle through the wall and suppresses both of the members in the bottom lane. A double kill in the bottom. Eerie grabs one for himself for the Dark Harvest stack, and goodness gracious, that is how you play around the enemy vision. Meanwhile, in the top lane, Arrow Hunter might have overstayed. He does have a great sidestep from Ping.
What is he going to do
Can
again?
he get
the
two?
Ping
No.
Warrior's going to take another shot, and that's almost going to be it. Oh, my goodness.
One more auto attack would have done it. Arrow Hunter pulling off the impossible, but sadly just stayed a little too long. Really good sidestepping, really good Aurora mechanics. We're seeing this man improve game by game in real time.
And Xin Zhao's not out of this fight. He's taking grubs right now.
He is. 6 grubs could go in the way of Alaska, but seems like River Falls might just give it. I'm not even sure if they're aware of it. But we're forgetting first turret gold, including all of the plates, because plates have not dropped yet, has already gone to River Falls bot lane. That is a lot of gold on this Caitlyn already getting her first item.
That is a lot of turret plating going to be falling, and a lot of turret gold going to this Darius, who's got 30 CS up on Arrow Hunter, something that we don't see a whole lot. But he's just getting – Arrow Hunter's getting bullied. Arrow Hunter's getting bullied this week.
Oh, we're seeing a lane swap right now, but meanwheile in the mid lane, Cataronia trapping out Pizza Boy, sidestepping every ability, and only takes a little bit of a tickle from Trap before popping some shields, and he's walking away pretty happy about that. He has eyes on the enemy support, and now they can fully commit into the bottom lane.
Brand ulted there. He ulted on the. There was nothing really to bounce off. I think it bounced off of a minion once and then back to Pizza Boy.
Oh, we have a big fight going right now.
Ooh,
The bleed
Eerie
damage is
followed
going
the
to finish
minions.
area off, and now Fred pops the ghost, trying to hunt down Enchanting. Does a huge amount of damage, half the health with the Darius W, but backs off. Enchanting not able to do a lot of damage.
Ooh,
Pizza Boy
Pizza
trying to
Boy
help
with
out
a
his
great
boy. The ultimate comes through, starts
No!
fleeing, and the taunt does not go in his favor. The Vigar cage pops in and is not allowing him to escape into the top lane. Pizza Boy falls to Katarino, but meanwhile, Scrungo is going to fall to Arrow Hunter in the bottom. A 2-for-1 trade across the entire map for Alaska. And honestly, not really a misplay from River Falls. It was just a macro play from Alaska. They rotated enough people to fight on both lanes, and Scrungo had to give his life for it. But
Xin Zhao is
you'll kind of
just-
take it because now the Xin Zhao is a little fed, the Vigar's a little fed, and they can start pushing down mid.
Xin Zhao is just taking all of Ridley's jungle. All of his food is being depleted.
This is exactly what I was talking about. The jungle tempo has
What is
been
a Scorpion
screwed up
to do?
since the bottom lane help. And I understand maybe they were worried if Enchanting and Eerie were going to be pushed out, that they needed some jungle support to stabilize the wave. But
Look at all these
Fridgley,
red.
you got to keep your eyes on your own jungle as well, because buff rates can come out very quickly from somebody as mobile as Xin Zhao.
They've got a lot of wards in there, so they know if
Yeah, they
anybody's
do.
in there. I'm sure that was just a setup to make sure they could safely take out all those buffs. But they really just had that prepared, and Fridgley is here taking some Raptors. Xin Zhao is looking for him. Fridgley's going to take a couple and then just run away here. There's a zombie brand running around in the jungle, clearing up some wards here as well. And
Fridgley.
Fridgley is gonna contest for that control ward, and he's gonna bring that. He's gonna serve that brand, a spicy little fiery boy, right up to Eerie. And he's just gonna get a face full of cosmic power.
Skarner and Luxall expended for 1 kill onto Trap, and is it worth it? We'll find out. Maybe they're going to be playing around for Rift, and they
Keep
just
'em at
didn't want
bay.
the man disadvantage. They're going to be rotating Aurora up maybe, or just trying to keep the Darius, handled in the bottom lane. But the point is, they have a man advantage for at least another 10 seconds before his brand is able to rotate into mid. And I don't know if River Falls wants to levy this advantage, or if they were just trying to go for a quick pick to get some pocket gold. But
Rift Herald pick
Oh,
is gonna
finally.
be very important here.
the Rift Herald is finally being taken. A late take. I don't honestly
like
know
we're
if they can finish this one, because now everybody on the side of Alaska is up with items.
We've got a 4v3
They're gonna have to
here if
pull
this
off.
decides to be a fight. Ridley's going in. He's going to fall set, I guess. Trap's running away. Fridgley's getting caught out. Ping Warrior is just in the midst. He's going in for who is that? Enchanting will
Enchanting.
fall immediately. The Jin ult from far away, and there's ults going off as we kind of expected. Eerie is getting caught out here, but almost right before taking out Ping Warrior. And that's just going to be a net loss for River Falls. They've got 4 people dead in the fountain as Alaska has just triumphantly put everything on the back of Ping Warrior, and he's got CS, he's got kills, he's got grubs. They're gonna take a first Rift Herald, and Arrow Hunter maybe caught out here. They definitely can do something here. Arrow Hunter flashes out. He's walking a dangerous game. We're going behind the Rift Herald pit here.
The ult and slow was landing from Darius, and he knows that he's going to still try and be hunted. The invisibility is not going to help him out, as that is a huge AoE from the Darius W, and he is taken out. His timer is now offset from the rest of his team. It's going to be 30 seconds before he can join the remaining members of River Falls for the next team fight. And honestly, a huge blunder from River Falls. It was just a big disconnect in the fight. Fridgley missing that combo through the wall onto anybody. They really tried to front to back the fight, but you can't do that when your primary damage dealer Enchanting is being jumped on by the Xin Zhao. There is just no peel.
Yeah, apologize for our technical difficulties here, but River Falls has got to regroup here. They've got to shake it off, and they've got to keep going. I think if they prioritize a couple of things here and there and focus on some fights, I think we can turn this around. Just like Alaska wasn't out of the last game, River Falls is definitely not out of this game. So it's looking close. Obviously, we've got a lot of bounties that can be picked up on the side of River Falls here. It's 3 of these Alaskan folks have bounties on them.
That's exactly what I was going to touch on. Is it's 2 primary things I think River Falls should do. Is that that pick on a brand where they completely dump 2 ultimates into just that 1 pick in the jungle without any objective capitalization. That would have been great if it was anybody that wasn't the brand. If they could pick out one of these other singular members that are causing these huge issues, like the Xin Zhao, the Vigar, the Darius, that would turn the favor of the game immensely, because they can start actually making real objective plays off it, because a primary carry of the enemy team is down. The second thing, it goes back to the Darius, is the respect. Darius is hitting a huge spike right now. With Merc Treads and Black Cleaver completed, it is going to take a while for the rest of River Falls, we talked about their scaling comp, to get online. So Darius is a huge threat to all 5 members. And I think it's just the lack of respect right now. They're just like, oh, well, we can 3-man dogpile him. We can CC him. But he's just going to heal half his health anyway with one single W if you all try to crowd him. It's the game of kiting. You got to wait until his abilities are down, and then you can go in. But I understand that it's very difficult when there's the heat of the moment. Frigidly has already used his dash. He's kind of dead in the water. You kind of have to either commit or pull back. And unfortunately, when you flip that coin, sometimes you commit and you lose 4 members. Sometimes you don't commit and you would only lose Frigidly. But that's the dice you have to roll sometimes.
I don't think there's a single bad pick that could be taken here. I think all of the folks on both sides are good picks to have out of a fight. Especially Brand opting for the Rally's Crystal Scepter. He's going to be able to slow everybody he touches with everything that he does, and he hits everybody so easily.
Which is huge for Caitlyn, the squishiest and most prioritized champion on the enemy team right now. Caitlyn has been dove. Enchanting has just been tormented by this Xin Zhao in every single team fight, and Darius. And I think it's just a lack of peel or a lack of awareness from River Falls. And like you said, with that slow and with all the slows that they have on their team, especially the bleed, it's really hard without an E to get away when you're playing Caitlyn. You do have the traps that you can put on your feet, I guess, if they really want to try and melee range you. But the only mobility you have is your E, and it does not go very far.
No, it does not. And we have a lot less, as you're saying, peel on the side of River Falls. They don't have a lot, apart from the Skarner and the little bit of invisibility and jump on Aurora, they really don't have a lot of ways to get out of a fight. And the CC amount that's coming from Alaska is just too much to handle. The Darius has his pull and is slow. The Xin Zhao can just jump right on top of you. The Vygar has the cage. Jin has slowing if he gets a flower on you in the early stages, and then he'll W for just so much extra burn, really. And then Brand is just Brand, and at this point, everything he does is just going to not only get burned, but also just get cold and slowed down, and everybody's just going to be able to jump on him.
That's what Crystal Scepter does. Every damaging ability and attack is going to slow by, 20%, 30%, something like that.
Idea.
And with a lack of mobility in this comp, Eerie does not have anything. Enchanting hardly has anything. Pizza Boy, has a little bit of peel, but it's still lack of a mobile champion. Frigidly is using his E a lot to engage rather than get away, so not a huge amount of mobility there. The only one is Arrow Hunter with a lot of leaps and sidesteps and invisibility. And even then, Arrow Hunter is seeming to get caught out in the jungle because they hunt him down so well. This is why Darius is such a good pick into Aurora, is that swing around will detect and knock her out of the visibility. Right. So if he can land a pull and know where you're jumping, it's over for you. Meanwhile, Aurora does have some benefits against Darius. Obviously, it's a ranged character, very mobile character, so you can get out of reach. But he is running the Ghost, so it's going to be really hard to outrun him when that's up.
From what I've been noticing here is Ridley's focus on the Skarner, and specifically the Heartsteel, is he's got free boots, so he'll get the free boots. But the second that Skarner gets Heartsteel, they're just pushing him in, and they're fighting him, just planning on having him go in and tank and say, this is now my purpose, rather than keep on CSing and trying to keep up with this Xin Zhao. He's just going in and he's taking fights and he's forcing the fights. He's being the initiator here, which, granted, this is what the Skarner is going to do, being the tank, and obviously great initiation power, but you need to be able to have him have something past the point of Heartsteel, because sure, you get your Heartsteel and then you scale up, but there's only so much that you could do with just a whole bunch of extra max health here. We're trying to fix our technical difficulties and get us back on track with the game here. We're about 16 minutes in. I believe we've dropped maybe a handful of minutes here at this point. But, there we go. All right, we're 6-10 on the side of, it looks like Alaska just picked up another one. Or maybe,
we've probably missed
I think
a
we
lot,
just
but
went
we'll
in
be
the
back in.
All right. So I think the Skarner is just kind of, his landing phase is over after Heartsteel is picked up. And he's going in, he's getting those Heartsteel stacks, he's going to scale up, and his jungle phase is just kind of over from what I'm seeing. So there's not a whole lot of catch-up that he can play, unfortunately.
It's just trying to get as big as possible, both metaphorically and power-wise in hitting those spikes, but also physically. Heartsteel giving you a larger character model. So if he can get enough stacks on there's going to be a huge Scorpion God roaming around, a canonical size for Skarner. and that would be exhilarating to see. But you know, like I said, we're having technical difficulties. I'm sure a lot has already happened in the game. He's probably gotten a lot bigger since the last time I've seen him.
Our
He's
little
probably
boy's
grown
all
up
grown
so
up.
much. But in the meantime, you guys can just hang out with us for a little bit. We're just gonna be talking a little bit more meta commentary on the game. How's your day going so far, Gavin?
You know what? It's great that I'm here.
It's great that you're
I
here.
love being here at River Falls, being back on campus, coming in every week, every other week, casting some league, which I'm so glad to be a part of here at River Falls, despite being an alumni of almost 2 years now. It'll be two years in just a month.
Yeah.
So it's great to be back. It's great to be able to come back with welcoming arms and being able to cast some wonderful League of Legends, see our boys play some League, which is, you know, James and I were here at the very beginning and the very conception of esports here at River Falls. We'll regale you with stories.
That is true. We were actually the founders of the esports club before there was a program such as this. But, you know, I don't need to get too technical into that or humble brag too much on that. But, yeah, congrats on the 2-year anniversary for your diploma, that little piece of paper that dictates our lives and future careers.
Absolutely.
Very important. And, yeah, it's always super awesome to be here. I'm always exhilarated when I know that there's a casting opportunity in the night and that I'm open. I always try to make an effort because it's just a passion of ours. And I think that it's the same case for a lot of these players, that esports is just such a big passion for them that they're willing to be students. A lot of them have jobs as well. So pursuing a career, pursuing their education, while also being a part of this huge varsity program, it's going to be – it just shows so much passion. And it also shows that this – program is going to be so successful down the line.
It has grown so much since we've left.
Absolutely. Exponentially.
Exponentially. We've got so many teams and in games that I had no idea that there was really that much of a scene for. And we've hit them all.
Yeah, we actually have some other games going on right now.
Mr. Game & Watch wins! Choose your fighter. Incineroar.
the second half of the game. Hello, I don't really know what's going on here at this point. So we're making do with what we got here. Are we going to a game 3? Nope. All right. Did we win?
So we just got news from the league team.
Oh.
It is still
the game's
ongoing
still
development.
Well, this is
But
a long game. Everybody's playing for the long game.
It seems like it is going very well for both teams. A very exciting game I wish we could be watching. Don't worry. If we learn the results, I swear I will post it to my non-existent Twitter that I do not own. However, that might have to do it for us due to technical difficulties. We will have to be shutting down the stream very soon unless we can get things up and running. But it has been a pleasure.
We can at least throw it to the starting or the taking a break.
Well,
we're taking Elder.
As it currently stands,
baby!
River Falls is melting down Elder as we speak. And if you don't know what Elder does, first off, it gives you burn damage on all of your abilities and attacks. And
execute!
A huge execute at about, 30% health or something crazy like that?
I don't know. I want to say it's like this much.
It's that much, ladies and gentlemen. That is exactly how much it takes. If you can measure that, if you can hold a ruler up to your screens right now.
Uh-huh. I'll hold it still for you.
There you go. So that is about, I want to say, the release.
Well, that was quick. That
Okay,
escalated fast. So we took the Elder.
Not only is the execute this way, and there's going to be a Baron buff underneath that makes the shape look like this, like a little goalpost, but now it's about the size of the average release valve on a septic tank.
And now let me show you the amount of, let's say, win gap or skill gap, maybe. I don't want to be that guy, but let's just say our margins of our chance of victory. I don't know how to use statistics. We're going to win, guys. We just took Baron, I think.
Well,
we're getting the play-by-play across the hall. It sounds like we're taking Baron.
There could be a high change in the delta here, depending on the Baron play right now.
If you see behind me,
I've got a Falcon. He's ready to go. Wait, he's red for the Nexus?
even though ours is
What?
blue. Ours is blue.
For the one that's about to be destroyed, because if River Falls win this game, I'm tearing this off the wall, and I'm beating it with a sledgehammer.
Don't tell anybody. We're going to lock the door.
Don't tell Dylan. This is happening,
We're
whether
gonna
he
lock
likes
the
it or
door.
not. Honestly, I don't care what the results of the league match is. This is coming off the wall. This is going home with me, or at least pieces of it are.
You know, it's like what they say. My team is winning. I'm going to celebrate. The only way I know how, destruction. I'm a man. I got to do what a guy's got to do.
And speaking of winning, guess what just happened in Game 2 of the University of Wisconsin River Falls versus the University of Alaska? It was a 2-0 victory.
Woo!
We are going
What
to
a
get a replay
replay.
going.
Oh, my gosh. We
And
get to
now
watch it?
we are being...
Yeah!
This is
Ooh! Ooh! Ooh!
This is the cherry on top. This is the brownie points that I was asking for. A replay. This is high-tier production.
Absolutely. I mean, we've got a falcon behind it. It's even red.
These faces
It's
are what the
glowing up.
teams are going to watch during their playbacks.
We're going to be part of the playback.
Exactly.
Oh, hey, we got
That's
a
us.
team member here.
Isn't that fantastic? Now, great congratulations on the victory, first off. Not to spoil it too soon, but let's see how we got there. It's like a Breaking Bad episode. We see the end result. How did the machine gun get in Erie's trunk? We don't know.
I don't know. I never watched
But
Breaking Bad.
we're going to see how he started cooking chicken pot pie, because
Yeah,
I can't say what he actually cooks on the air.
It's
But
filled with goodies.
he makes a really mean recipe. I'll tell you what, the support for River Falls makes a very mean one. And a souffle, not a great casserole, but we won't have to get into that. Replay coming up very soon. We are very excited to share it with you. And I want to see how this Elder and Baron came to be.
I would
Because
love to see it.
It could be a very typical, a few picks here and there, or it could be some big colossal team fight that
who
has us,
knows?
having big Looney Tunes eyes popping out of our skulls. So
I'm
we'll have to see what happens.
Maybe smacking the table. Give me some more. My tongue is unfortunately not as long as I believe a member of KISS had something cut out so he could drop his tongue
Yeah,
a little bit further out of his mouth. Is that right? I unfortunately can't do that because I'm not in a state of being that would I would
Was it
need a
Gene
longer
or
tongue
something
for.
like that? I believe it was
no
the,
idea.
it was the guitarist or something. I know exactly what you're talking about. That's absolutely wild.
Give it up for the coach, everybody!
And this is the coach of the River Falls League
Woo!
team. This is the man.
Oh, we get to see it!
Oh,
Oh, my
and
God!
a
And Darius
team fight.
gets shut down in the Elder Baron. Wait, that's not an Elder. We're on
No,
break
that was
4.
an Elder. No, that was an Elder. The
that
Elder
was
was
break
taken by
4. Oh, we're
Free.
gonna go back to 23 minutes. So, if you weren't here with us, we were at 16 minutes when our technical
not even
difficulties
being
got
streamed.
popped. Here we are at what is it? 7.5 minutes forward. A Drake just spawned. This is the fourth Drake, Fourth Drake of the game, and Alaska is here, and they're ready to take it. And Fridgley is here. He's ready with the smite. He's hovering over his, what is he? He's got flash on F. He's hovering flash on the F, and they secure it. Absolutely beautiful takedown.
A good fleet from Pizza Boy on the top side to win that 1v1 against Darius. Now it's just going to be a team fight in the bottom side of the river. There's a jump on from the Xin Zhao, but Eerie is able to flash away and hopefully get away. No, gets knocked up by the Xin Zhao and is taken out, but not before he is refragged. It is a trade for the Caitlyn and Xin Zhao. Double kill on the board. But if you are River Falls, you're still walking away happy with that one on the Baron.
Love it. The Jin was ulting. Not sure where he was. Well, I mean, he was hitting some people, but River Falls didn't really care. You know, a flash came out on the side of who is that? I believe Caitlyn or maybe Aurora or Lux flashed over that wall to save their health bar a little bit. But damage is going up the wazoo on both sides here.
I know.
Absolutely.
It is getting into a very spicy game. It is so spicy. I am sweating like a lady of a night in church.
I almost called it. We had a cloud, or we had a water drake, or an ocean drake at the beginning. I called for a mountain drake. I wanted a mountain drake second, but unfortunately River Falls has taken the fire drake, the red one. We did get the cloud soul. So we've got Cloud. This is almost exactly what I wanted. We just got even more damage, as if the teams needed more damage.
It's incredible. We got Water Drake, we got Red Drake, and we got the big wing Drake.
Yeah.
Okay, we got the one with all the symbols on the top of the screen there, and the point is I can count to 3, and River Falls has 3. And if you don't know what 3 means in League of Legends, ladies and gentlemen, that means they are on Soul Point. One more Drake kill is going to secure Soul, which gives the entire team a huge permanent buff for the rest of the game.
Well, we don't get to see some names, but we'll do our best. And at least call out the folks.
Our players.
Adrenal coming down from mid lane. Oh my God! We've got some wonderful shielding coming out from Eerie. Eerie's going to pop a little bit of an ulti, and Trap's just going to secure that kill. Maybe the Jin wanted it, but, you know, it's his. He's got the Trap. Fridgley taking a lot of damage here, taking a lot of shots. The Vex is here. Oh, we're going to hit a beautiful ult, maybe a little bit of a go in. And Fridgley is burning. Fridgley's burning. The Comet came in, but the Comet hit Enchanting instead. Fridgley was just too far out of range for that.
I thought the burn was going to get him at
beautiful. First. Yeah, he's got too much health. What's it matter to him? He's got Merc Treads. He's got a little bit of MR sprinkled in there, but it's not going to be.
You know, you're right. Once you get that pickaxe, you're unkillable.
Absolutely. I mean, you know, AD always said, "Man, that makes man stronger."
Tell that to every single game where I play tank and we FF before I can get first item. Slowing down to a smaller pace, a great team fight from Alaska in the mid lane right there, but River Falls recovering very nicely by just going for the clear and vision game right now, and setting up for potentially a Baron play.
We've got some interesting level changes here. Alaska's really taken the play on the kill feed here with a 7K gold lead. River Falls prioritizing the Drakes, which is absolutely fantastic. It looks like no Rift Herald was taken. I could be mistaken, but I'm looking at the symbols on the top. I don't see a Rift Herald taken. I think we missed the time on the Rift Herald.
Yeah, Pizza Boy gets ganked in the top lane, forces the flash, but the Vigar ult lands anyway. Meanwhile, on the bottom side of the jungle next to red buff for blue side, the kill goes to Skarner. Darius being caught out by 4 members of River Falls. And that might be the pick. We were talking about how daunting this Darius can be and how much of a game changer it can be during the team fights. This might be a play towards an objective.
And River Falls is playing together, which is absolutely fantastic. We love to see it. And they're getting caught out. The Jin ult comes in. Jin ult hasn't been seen to do a lot of damage here. Xin Zhao is going to pop his ult here and go in for Eerie. Eerie's going to pop out all those shields and pop out this ultimate. Caitlyn will unfortunately fall to the Jin, and there goes Eerie.
Yeah, the 4th shot from the Jin lands onto Enchanting. Enchanting does unfortunately fall, but the remaining players of River Falls are able to get away with their lives.
Ooh, a big rock coming down.
With almost full health. I wonder if they were tempting to turn that around, or if they understood that they were at a man disadvantage. The point is the Vex, or rather the Aurora, is still here to stop the wave incoming onto the tier 2. But a double stun lands onto Arrow Hunter, and the Jin secures that kill. Fridgley and Pizza Boy, last remaining defense, and they want to go in for the 2v3. Snags him, but not able to ram him into the wall. The stun does not connect for Fridgley, and now it is just the wave clear game.
Alaska is going to be the team to fall back on this mid lane.
They are. I mean, 2 are at half health, and River Falls has items. So
it's look. We got a lot of purple stuff on Eerie. I like the purple stuff. We're still sticking strong with the ring. The ring is going to. We'll see the ring come into play, I'm sure.
Definitely a lot of purple stuff on the Lux. She has been drinking that lean, and she is looking mean. Let me tell you what, with a Malignance and Penetration boots built, this is going to be
we've got a jump.
nasty Dark Harvest.
Who is that?
And
Who
it
is
might be
that?
a huge
Oh,
pick
what
right
is
now onto the
that?
Darius. The heal does come through from the W, and it's going to be a double pull. There are 4 members of River Falls chasing him down. A
Oh, a
flash with
flash
a
in.
huge
He's
heal
looking
on the
real
W
confident.
lands, but it does not matter because there's too much damage from River Falls. Lux is able to secure the kill. Eerie with another one on the board,
Alaska's
taking up
nowhere to
those
be
Dark
found.
Harvest stacks, and now Alaska's on the back foot. Arrow Hunter
Ooh,
pulling
Zinzao
around on
going
a
in
huge
at the
flank. He
beginning.
went invisible. Huge Aurora all talking
Right
down
in the
4
middle.
members,
Big
but he gets
chunk.
taken down as well. There's too much damage and not enough support from River Falls. Jinno comes out. Is the 4th shot going to be able to connect and do a ton of damage? It does. It lands right under the Vex player. Pizza Boy brought down to about a 4th of
Vigar's
health, and
looking
now
real
it's going to be a
tasty.
Drake flip. There is no jungler on the side of
Oh
River
my
Falls,
God!
but oh my! I don't even know what to say about that.
Vigar, you might want to stay away, buddy. You're kind of in death's range here.
Xin Zhao with a very interesting play from Warrior diving in, trying
almost
to
had-
get a
there's so
kill
much
and
damage
Drake
from both
flips.
sides.
He had, what?
What?
He had the smite up, but instead he
River
opts
Falls
for the kill.
takes
I'm not
soul.
sure why he wanted to flip that Drake when he could have just secured it and given his life, but instead he tries to go for the kill and make the hero play, and that was the big deficit, giving River Falls a Cloud Soul, and that was absolutely what they needed right now. The amount of movement speed and the amount of peel they now have with this movement speed is going to keep Enchanting alive.
Absolutely love it. We're seeing a lot of CDR and a lot of long-range support ability coming in from the support Lux guys. Absolutely love it.
Don't worry, guys. It's Lux support, I swear. 4, 5, and 6, we got this in the bag.
Darius is roaming around on the top side. I guess we're going to clear out some wards. We're going to clear out some red vision on the left side here around Drake or Baron Pit.
Now, speaking of vision, notice how the only thing is in Top River Bush next to the Baron Pit and in Baron Pit themselves. That is the only thing that River Falls has their eyes on. So if Darius were to stay in the jungle, he could have gotten a full flank. But instead, he opts to rotate all the way back around and losing some tempo onto the top lane. And this might give River Falls the opportunity to set up for a turn or a full Baron commit. We'll have to
This is
see what they
looking
decide.
good. This positioning is really good. River Falls is right where they need to be all together. Alaska is kind of just all spread around them like a beautiful constellation, like an upside-down Big Dipper, because we're from the Midwest, danggummit. Darius is, rotating. They're all kind of keeping that rotation up together. They're all kind of in a line, spread out along the river. And Pizza Boy is kind of getting caught out here.
He gets caught out again from the Xin Zhao, but instead of a Vigar this time, it's going to be the Darius that secures that
Ridley's
kill.
looking for revenge here. He's coming in through the wall. Oh, not quite.
Frigely not enough
throw a
uptime
rock,
on
though.
that E. Does throw a rock and tickles their bum just
He's
a
got
little
that
bit.
Stavrax gauge and an extra 165 max HP. He's got the Merc treads. He's ready to go in there. He's
And with
ready to do some
Sterix,
damage.
he's pretty much unkillable right now
I mean,
as long as the
might
standard's
as
there to
well.
support him.
You can get rid of that 4. You could just write it as a dash.
Oh,
It's not
but we
going
missed the
anywhere.
TP on Aurora. She does get stunned right before popping her ult, and Cataronia does take that ult, but on the meantime, in the side of the Baron Pit, there is a huge suppression from Frigely, taking out the enemy jungler, so they can't finish that Baron. The Baron does not
hanging
get
out. There's
burned
the
down.
Steraks gauge.
It extends their health, and now as a double kill from
Woo.
Enchanting comes out,
It's
takes
just enough
down the
time.
jungler and the mid laner, and now it's going to be
They
a
want some
solid
more.
2v2,
Enchanting is going
using
in.
the E to get back into the fight. The most aggressive Caitlyn we have ever seen. The Jhin
Are we gonna
missing
get
the
another
W,
penta?
and now it is all up for one auto attack from Eerie. Shut down on the Jhin, and that is an ace from River Falls.
A Quadra, a Penta shut down by Eerie. How could you do this, man? All right, we had comms. It's okay, guys. Nobody come at us. It's all right. It's okay. we got it. We
Nobody
got a
come at
Penta in
us.
game 1. Game 2 is, it's a throw. All
It's a
right.
throw. I don't know much of a throw as it is a catch, because right now this is looking like a stop.
We're reeling it in. It's really big.
There is a kill
gonna need
deficit
some
on the
support
side
at
of River
reeling
Falls,
this
and
one
there's
in.
a 5K gold advantage going towards Alaska, but with Cloud Soul, this could be anybody's game. This
could be.
And by anybody's game, I mean we kind of already know how it ends, but I'm very excited to see how this
We flipped to the
progresses.
end of our book. We said, "Yeah, that's the ending right there." So, I mean, if you're just tuning in, we got a banger game for you. River Falls
There
ain't
you
out of this
go.
game yet. We're down 7 kills, 8 kills here. It's 19-27. We've got all the objectives we
go
could
either
ever
way.
want.
This could be either team's game.
It
Very
really
even.
could be.
Let's hit equilibrium
Look at
right
me
now.
in the eyes. This could go either way. Okay.
You see, when
sit
we
tight.
read Choose Your Own Adventure books, we don't make the choices. We just look at the final page to see how it ends.
I read every chapter back to back. and then say, "Oh, I read it wrong."
I read normal books like manga, so I go from the back all the way to the front cover. And I was wondering why
Oh
this thing
my
made sense,
god!
but
Was that a crit? Oh my. Okay, that Brand. You see where that Brand's health
Yeah,
is at right
that
now?
was a huge
He was
crit.
at full
Oh!
health. He was at full health right before Enchanting hit him one time. And ooh, Pizza Boy coming in with a big old stun. We got an ulti coming out from Arrow Hunter as well. We're just gonna kind of clear house. Everybody's just kind of right by each other, and they're all just gonna fall. We've got AOE's, but we've got enough single attack targeting. It kind of just seems like an AOE, doesn't it? Everybody's just kind of dying. Everybody's just kind of chunking health.
you were saying we're clearing house, and it is a fire sale right now for River Falls as they pick one by one off the enemy team. 2 members left to defend, the Darius and the Vygar player. It is all up to Fred and Catalonia. Are they going to be able to make it happen? They do have a little bit of wave clear, especially with the W from the Darius and all of the burst from the burst mage. That is the Vygar at level 17. The stun does land, but it's not going to be enough damage.
Fall.
Oh, it is actually a half hit onto the Lux, but the first Nexus turret falls.
Big ol' pull from
now
the
there's
Darius.
one more Nexus turret online, but the Brand has spawned.
Respectable.
He does not have his hourglass up, as we saw with a beautifully timed, Vex Fear from Pizza Boy. Knocks him right out of it, sends him all the way back to the base. So that is going to be down for the next fight. However, it seems like the next fight is not going to be coming soon as River Falls pulls back and opts for a more of a reconvening of the minds back in the base.
I believe Enchanting is at a full build here, minus the measures and two really useful control words here that we're going to see on Eerie. We've got basically a full build. We've got full items there. Pizza Boy looking really strong here with the 3 items and the Zanyas. Ridley's he's looking for maybe a little bit of a, it could kind of go either way. We've got a little bit of anti-heal and a little bit of magic resist. And then still the Steris Gauge and the wonderful 198 max health increase by Thorn, or the Heartsteel, excuse me. And Erie's throwing out some damage with an ulti here. Zinzao is going to pop his ult and run away. Jin's going to pop some ult, pop some impressive fire, and it's going to be just out of the way. And Darius will fall first, and followed by the Zinzao, and they've lost all of their initiation.
Yeah, Skarner all goes wide, but it doesn't matter when the Zinzao jumps onto the backline and gets absolutely obliterated. He did
Here's
not
Elder
understand
right
that
here.
the rest of his team was not there to support him and just gets melted down by Enchanting and Arrow Hunter. Masterclass front to back. And a huge amount of damage from Aurora coming out, destroying that Brand. He does sidestep the Lux ult. Eerie almost securing another kill and another Dark Harvest stack, but it does not matter because the end goal has been secured. Elder Dragon is on the menu, and boy, it's looking like a buffet for River Falls as they turn towards the Baron.
We got some tentacles on my plate. I want to heat them up. Maybe I'll have one little raw, one cooked up. We'll see what we get. Hopefully not any suction cups in my throat.
We were talking about the main course. Maybe we'll have a little souffle and Nexus Tower after this.
I love some crunchy debris in my soup.
I like a little bit of a Nexus creme brulee in my days.
We're gonna get a little bit of a back here on the side of River Falls, maybe getting some pots.
All I'm
maybe
saying
getting
is with
some
these 2
potions
temporary buffs of Elder Dragon and Baron on the board, we keep making food puns, and River Falls is eating happy.
We are. If you're a River Falls folks, River Falls fan, River Falls enthusiast, you're having a great time. You're kicking your feet up and you're clapping them together like a little child who just got some food. They don't quite know how to do this with their hands yet, but they can do it with their feet. So I'm reeling up
if you're
in my
coming
seat.
from River Falls and not Notre Dame, you're clicking your heels together like a little leprechaun in the joy for how
We've
this
got
game's
everybody in
going
River
for ya.
Falls is at the same point right here. We're all going in. We're all in this together. Okay.
I half expect the entire varsity team of the league to break out in a musical number and to explain how happy they are and how much damage is coming through from this Aurora
Hunter with a
player.
great lock.
Dives onto the back. The execution doesn't come through because the teleport does, or the hourglass. The Brand does save his own life, but at the cost of the Darius. Now Zinzao has fallen. Just kidding. There is a Vex ult on top of you, Brand. You cannot get away. And game number 2 goes in the favor of River Falls. Game, set, match. Victory for the Homelanders.
2-0 with River Falls here versus Alaska Fairbanks. So, wonderful game. Wonderful backup plan on the side of River Falls as we kind of just got to see them, reel back and come back after that 16-minute. We took a little bit of a break, and we came back, and we saw nothing but River Falls in the later half of this game.
Yeah, great objective play as well. They were down on a gold deficit and a kill deficit, but securing that soul was given their carries enough mobility to peel and get away from the enemy, because they have so many divers. Especially the Zinzao, able to dive onto that backline so quickly that Cloud Soul came in so handy. And because of that, they were able to just simply front to back and then kite, and then front to back yet again to secure Elder and Baron.
They brought back that kill counter too. They were at 28 to 27,
Yeah,
so
that
they
is
brought
true.
that back in
They
League 2.
came positive
They
in
had
all aspects of
everything
the
at the
game.
end
They
of the
did not.
game.
Maybe that's why they pulled back to base the first time instead of ending. They just decided, you know what, guys, we need more kills.
We do. All right, I don't know if you want to end out this stream after this wonderful 2-0 victory in the side of River Falls. We're taking a 1 second here, as we might get a little bit of a surprise.
Before we leave you here tonight, thank you so much for joining me on the stream, Gavin. Thank you so much
Super
for
happy to
hosting
be
River
here.
Falls. It was fantastic league. Tomorrow, we have another banger for you. It is going to be the Valorant varsity team versus Waterloo. Stay tuned for that one. It is going to be an absolute banger. That one is going to be at 8 p.m.
Central Time.
Central Time. Very good point. Again, huge thank you for everybody. Wonderful league we saw today. Absolute masterclass in casting, Gavin. Thank
We'll
you
be
for
back
carrying.
next time. There's Erie. There's our support.
And now, before I head out, I just want to say I'm passing this off to Erie, the support player that has just won a 2-0 victory. Get in here and tell us how you feel.
Hello. You know, feeling real good after that.
Yeah.
It was fun games.
I'm loving the support play,
Thank you.
even though you may be in the second game just opted for a lot of AP. I love it.
Lux is a fun pick because it brings me back to my mid lane days.
Absolutely.
So I get
Yeah.
to have fun again.
It was a really good matchup just on both sides because, you had your ADCs tussling out, and then you have your mage supports.
Yeah.
So we just got a lot of damage on both sides. What do you think when you first saw the comment on the brand?
The arcane comment. I mean, it was kind of to be expected. It's just the pokey, kind of boring way to play against it. He didn't feel like he did very much that game.
Yeah.
I mean, in lane,
You just bullied him.
I will say his E's or the circle. I don't remember what one that is, but those were hitting crazily. They should not have been hitting.
W.
It's W. Yeah, it felt a little bit weird that some of those were hitting, but it's okay. They did.
That's to be expected.
But yeah, I mean, we brought it back. I told everyone before the game, I was like, give me a solid 5 minutes of me missing every Q, and then I'm gonna lock in and hit every Q. And I feel like that's what happened.
Fair enough.
The
You just
first-
got to warm up a little
Yeah,
bit.
the first little bit was a little bit rough, but we
Yeah.
really brought it back, and so it feels good to win those. We're excited for next week.
Yeah, it was absolutely a blast to see you guys win this one, and we're
Yeah.
excited to see you guys play again next week.
Thank you.
We'll
Feels
be
good
back.
being
I think
on
we're
the
going to end
cast.
out the stream.